Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to break down two important SQL functions, that is count and sum. This might seem simple at first glance, but trust me, they are absolutely essential when you are working with the real world data, and especially in the final project that we will build at the end of the series. So let's understand them properly because we will be using them to calculate total, track transactions, and analyze user activity in our upcoming project. So, first, let's understand this full table, then we will go to count. So, here you can see I have written two queries, this create table and this insert into, right? These queries will be given to you in my comment section, so you just copy and paste it into your SQL database and run the query. And this is my table that I have given is practice set 1. Let's run it again and see the table is in front of you. How many rows do we have? We have 7 rows and 4 columns. So first thing first, we will learn what is count, or we will understand what is actually count, right? So let me just keep it in a proper way, right? So let's say I will give you a situation right now. Let's say you have a table of online orders that you have already in front of my screen. You have a table of online orders. Now you want to know how many orders were placed, how many total orders were placed, right? How you will do? It's very simple, one liner query. Just like write select count star from practice set 1. Many of you would be confused like what is the use of star and all. It is nothing. It will just means this function count with a star inside the parenthesis. This function will just count the number of rows, no matter it is having null or it is having a number or anything. No matter what, it will count all the rows even if some data is missing. So let's run and see what output do we get in this. See, we get 7 rows in the output, and if we run this query again, there are 7 rows. See, 7 rows. Let's run it once again to confirm. Yes, it is right. So this counts all rows even if some data is missing. Here you can see two datas are missing, that is row 2 and row 6. What data? Price data is missing right now, right? But let me give you one more situation, right? This is count star, and let me write the situation here. Let me give you one more situation. What if you want to count only the orders that had a valid amount? Valid amount, or you can say the price amount is filled up. It's simple. Just write select count, and I have asked you a question. What was the question? What if you want to count only the orders that had a valid amount? That had a valid amount or valid price. N- Just simply write count price here. Why price? Because the column name is price. That's it. From what's the table name? Practice set 1, and run it. What you get? 5. Why? Because two columns were having null. So what will this count? And inside the parenthesis a column name is given. What if we do this? This will exclude null, which is super important. Why? Because in real project not every transaction is complete, and we don't want to count the half filled data because this will create a very negative issue at the end of the project when we will create a dashboard or when we will present that in front of our manager using Power BI or Tableau. That's why this will create a issue. So to be on the safer side and to make sure the output that we want to find out for our client or for our stakeholders is on a proper way, so that is the reason we exclude null values, right? And right now, as I have told you, we have learned count, like all the details about count, like count star and count with a column name. Now we will learn about sum. what is the use of sum? Like, what is the use of it? You will be thinking like, okay, that's the main important thing, and to find the total of everything we will find sum. Let me tell you one thing, this query only runs on integer kind of columns. Let me tell this with a practical data. Means the columns which are having integer like 100, like this, 127 like this function will run. This function won't run in this. If I tell sum of product name, it won't run, it will give a error. Why? Because this is a variable character. See, it will only run on customer id because it is integer, order id it is an integer, and price it is decimal. So anyhow it's a number kind of thing. That's why sum will work on only integer kind of column in the data set, right? Now let me give you a situation once again for this sum aggregate. Imagine you want to know how much total revenue did we generate. Simple. Revenue means what column should I take here? Just guess and write in the comment section. You are correct. We will take the price column. Why? Because we are asking for revenue, and revenue is calculated by adding all the price from this table. I mean, not from this table, anywhere you go in any field. If I tell you about revenue, you will just count, you will just sum either the profit, either the net profit, like this kind of column will be there. You will do a sum for that. So it's easy. We'll just write select sum price from practice set 1, and then just run it. See, we get 800. So what actually happened in this? This adds all the price value, and again it ignores null, because when you do the sum price, it takes null as 0 or null as a blank. So it will only add up those uh, rows or those data which are having integers, right? That's it. That means incomplete or refunded orders won't affect your total. This will help us later when we calculate total sales or income per user in our near future projects. So now as we have learned these three things, count star, count and sum, let's use it on a complex kind of query, right? So let's give me one more scenario for this, right? And this is the last scenario I'm saying in this conceptual world. I mean conceptual video. Let me tell you that. What is the scenario? Let's combine both count and sum using group by. This is where things start to feel real, and this exact logic is the power key part of our project, and we will use this thing in our project. So please concentrate on these things, because these things will be used in our project on I would say uh, each and every query we will be using this. Like most of the queries we will be using this. So make sure you focus right now in this, right? So we will be use group by and sum and count aggregate. So select from table name and then group by. What is the backbone of group by? Let me tell you. Group by, we have to write those column names which will be there in select. And group by, what it does, it will give you the unique values or the unique data in the output. So what we want, select customer id we will take, and in group by also we will write customer id, correct? And then as I have told you, we will use both the aggregate function, that is count price as a valid price, then sum of price as total spent from table name and group by this. So you will be having a confusion like why I haven't written this count of price and sum of price in group by. Let me tell you one thing, aggregate functions. aggregate functions are not allowed to use in group by. In group by only we will use those columns which are just pure columns present in our data set. I mean data set. In data set we have customer ID column, pure customer ID column, so we have used it. We do not have count price column here. Do we have it? No, we don't have it. Do we have sum of price column here? No, we don't have it. So we won't be using it. We will only use those columns which are directly present in the data set of the database that we are working on. So let's run this and see what we will get. Okay, we have used two commas here. That's why we got an error. Okay, why it is showing like oh, from table name practice set 1. See, so customer ID 1, what I have told you, like, let me show you in this thing. In this thing we can say these two are unique, like 101 is one customer, 102 is one customer, 103 one customer, and 104 one customer. So in the output we will get the unique customer's ID, that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's it. So that is the valid price, means count of price, means how many transaction did 101 did 101 did one transaction, one valid transaction, right? And total spent is 100. 103 did one valid transaction, 104 one, and 102 two. Let me show you one thing. Actually 101 did two transaction and 104 did two transaction, but here if we see it is showing one transaction. Why? Because count of price does not count the null values. Let me tell you that when you give a column name in the count, it eliminate the null values. That's why 101 is having one valid transaction and 104 is having one valid transaction. Let me show you this. See, 104 and 101 is having one valid transaction. So now we have per customer analytics, how many valid purchases they made and how much money they spent. So let me tell you one thing, this is exactly how e-commerce site billing system and even portfolio dashboards work. They calculate tools using sum and count in the backend scenarios. And yes, in our final project, we will use this to show up things like total orders per customer, revenue generated per products, and summary dashboard with aggregate insights. So learning this now will save your hours later. So that's what it is. And if you want me to give a mini challenge, because this is an interesting part and this queries will be used a lot, so I will give you a mini challenge. Right, what is the mini challenge? Try to write a query that shows how many customer made more than two purchases and what their total spending was. So drop your query in the comment section and I will review it in the next live stream. So to give a revision of whatever we learned today, uh, let's make a note of it. You can just write the notes in your pen and copy, like use your pen and copy to write the notes. So let's start. First thing, count help you measure quantity, right? Sum help you calculate values. Combined with group by, they turn raw data into insights. You can see this in front of you. And this three tools will be the backbone of our upcoming SQL project. So make sure you are comfortable with them. That's it for today, guys. And if this helped you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your fellow SQL learners. Next up, we will start building our project step by step. So stay tuned, and until then, keep querying, keep learning. So bye bye, take care, and happy coding.